Hey, legends. Frazer Brookes here, coming to you today from Dubai with a special guest, Rhiannon Murray. How you doing, Rhiannon? You good?
Yeah, amazing. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. I love that you says optimist on your like jumper.
It's got to be done, right?
Yeah, look at that. It's so cool. It's so cool. So today what we're going to be doing is inside the inner circle, we are starting something called the hot seats. Hot seat is not, it sounds quite intimidating. But it's basically just me and one of the members of the inner circle, today being Rhiannon. And I just want her to kind of share with you a little bit about her story. So maybe some of you guys can relate to her story. And then if she has any questions, I kind of like, me and her will kind of go through those questions. And you guys can kind of tune in and kind of learn something and figure something out. So Rhiannon, first and foremost, how would someone find you on social media? What's the best place? Is it Facebook, Instagram? How would they find you best if they want to kind of like, follow you from this point onwards?
Yeah, Rhiannon Murray on Facebook is definitely like my go-to. That's my baby.
Yeah. So you're a Facebook girl.
I am. I really am. I do use Instagram actually, and it's Rhi_Murray. But yeah, Facebook is my baby that I always keep reverting to.
Yeah, it's funny though, isn't it? Like, I'm the same. Like, Facebook for me is better. But if I'm like at an event or I'm speaking to someone, then like most of the time they'll say, "How do I follow you?" And then I'll kind of show them. I'll be like, "Oh, Facebook." They'll be like, "Oh, I'm not on Facebook." Like, what's your Instagram? I'm like, oh no, please. I look so much cooler on Facebook.
Yeah, it's kind of where all our community is and everything. So it always somewhere I revert to, and I find it more user friendly for me as well. I like using it. I'm quite faster on it. And Instagram, I just feel like a bit of an oldie.
Hey, I totally get it. Totally get it. So let's talk about your story. What were you doing before network marketing? How did you get involved in network marketing, and where are you up with it right now?
So I did the traditional, went to university thing, what I thought I was supposed to do, studied an early years degree, finished that, ended up actually working in retail management, then had twin boys, and nice. Ended up going back into childcare management because I could get a discount on childcare, not even going to lie. It was too expensive for me to be able to go back into my retail job and afford childcare, so I went back into that side of things. And then because I enjoyed working. I'm definitely a worker. I enjoy working. I go crazy if I don't have that mission or independence or income for myself. Mm-hmm. And but during kind of my working world, it was so hard with the children, earning, being away from them, 50, 60 hours a week, either missing picking them up in the morning or seeing them in the evening. I'd always miss one end of the day. And after working, full-time hours, I was only taking home about 400 quid a month. And I was thinking, really? Like, surely this is, and I always remember saying to my husband at the time, is this it? Like, have I got to do this for however long? Surely this is not the end, like the start of the end of how it's going to be, for another 40 years. Like, no way. So I started thinking, like, what can I do? I ended up coming out of the nursery work, and I actually went on a course. Do you know the Prince's Trust? Yeah, I went on a Prince's Trust kind of entrepreneurial fast weeks course to see, like, do you think if having my own business is sort of for me? I set up my own childcare agency off the back of that. It was running really well for 6 months. Did that at home around the boys, absolutely loved it. But then I came across network marketing. Now, I actually found it really randomly at a wedding fair.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I was at the wedding fair showcasing my childcare agency because we did wedding crashes that I was running. And nice. All, the whole day I was like looking across at this network marketing sign, thinking, what on earth is that? Preconceptions, etc. And the lady actually came over to me and was like, yeah, let's swap business cards. She found me on Facebook. The rest is history, right? So that was actually 8.5 years ago. So and after quickly I started, I'd wanted my own business, my childcare agency. It was like having a dream, being able to do it around the boys. But what I found that it was you've got to do absolutely everything, and it's very quite lonely, if you like. And I missed having the social aspect of being in work. You know, the boys are 2 years old, running rings around me. It's hard to kind of get out and socialize, etc. So, yeah, the thought of having something like a networking marketing business where a company takes all of the nitty gritty that maybe I don't like to do, and actually gives me, you know, a social interaction as well, but still the flexibility to be there with the boys as well. Once I started the network marketing business, I actually closed my company 6 months later, and I was like, bye, it's starting to annoy me. My husband was like, you've been building up to this for so long and you're just starting this. And I literally remember my business phone for my childcare agency was ringing, like business was coming in, and it was annoying me.
Yeah.
So
like, oh
bad.
God, business.
Yeah, so I was like, yeah, okay, I think like I need to give all into this. So that's what I did, and 8.5 years later, here I am.
That's awesome. That's so cool. It's funny you saying about the £400 a month take home, and yeah, twin boys, and because obviously me and Svetlana were looking at like all the strollers and the car seats and the cots or the cribs or whatever they're called these days, and
So
like
much.
I'm like, how is this possible? Like for people outside of network marketing, right? Like, you know, the network marketing space can be a bit of a bubble at times. But like, I'm thinking like, this is wild. This is absolutely crazy how much money. One of the strollers was like £2,000. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe that a stroller was that amount of money. It was just, anyway, it just staggers me. I constantly say to Svetlana, I'm like, oh my God, like we compare things to strollers now. Oh, that would be 6 strollers. That would be 2 strollers. Oh, you could get 2 strollers for that. You know, it's
welcome
it's
into the parenting world.
I honestly had zero idea, no idea, none.
Really?
And then yesterday, Svetlana sees one of the baby shops. She's like, oh, let's go in. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm just going to follow her into this shop. And I'm like very interested, like how, like, you know, this 3-month-old outfit, which is like less material than a t-shirt, was more than my t-shirt. I was like, what is going on? This is just wild. So anyway, there's my little rant on that situation. So I would love to be able to help you as best I can in the next 15 minutes or so, or however long we've got here. What do you feel I can help you with the most in our time?
So I have got 4 questions here. They're all, maybe there's some links between them. I'm sure there is. So the first, I guess, 2 years of my network marketing business was a bit wild. It was 2014, say no more, when social media was just a bit mental. And it was kind of quite new to it, especially obviously in the UK and things as well. And I guess looking back now, what happened was the business grew on energy. And, you know, being realistic with it. And then when the kind of energy dropped off, I didn't have systems in place that people could, you know, they weren't built on systems. They would then grow through systems, you know, same for me and them. There was no systems upline either. So nothing we'd been, you know, kind of came into. And it wasn't until, you know, I grew the business to a certain point. I was quite kind of overwhelmed by it. And if I'm honest, the thought of, oh, well, yes, this is it forever, woo, had come into mind. And considering we were so broke before we started it as well, you know, when you get exposed to, you know, a level of income that to you, you know, is really big, you kind of just, you do get overwhelmed, I think. And then I think I probably went into a bit of management mode, if I'm honest, and stopped probably, and on reflection now, I can see it all, but not at the time. And it wasn't until business started dropping and things like that. And I didn't even know what self-development was. And I was hearing people talking about this, and it was something that had never like crossed training that I'd been on or anything. And I started to think, you know, good 12 months later, I need to do something about this because we can see this. And I guess it took a while to get in that position of, you know, where do I go? What do I look for? Where do I start? You know, I didn't even understand systems. And it's taken a lot of kind of coaching, learning myself, I guess. And that's how I came into Inner Circle, obviously, in February. and with a want to be like, do you know what, like I've got the dedication to it and the commitment and everything, but I know I need to learn systems. Where can I learn them from? You can't just pull them out of thin air. So unfortunately, that would be great, wouldn't it? So I guess through my exposure to Inner Circle, and just before I came on the 2022 game plan workshop in December, and that's in the January is my first ever time for starting FAM. So the whole FAM system only came to me, I found out about it in January, started implementing it then. And I'd been on a massive recruitment block previous to that, because I was bringing in very, very small numbers, because A, I didn't have a recruitment system, and then B, when they were coming in, I didn't know if I was going at the right pace for them. I didn't have a system to put them into, and my mind was just like, do you know what, I'm not even going to recruit until I know that I can help someone, right? Because that's what we stand for.
Holes in the bucket.
Yeah, 100%. So I started, when I came into Inner Circle, I was obviously actioning the whole, FAM system, etc., recruiting, putting it into place, obviously within our team group. And then once I finally, and it was interesting actually, because the day that the first partner came in through FAM was bang on 90 days.
There we go.
Actually, day 19, I was like, look at that. That's amazing. And I was messaging Neen. I was like, guess what happened on day 90? So then once that happened, I was like, oh yeah, but now I need to onboard her back into Inner Circle. How do you onboard? Put the systems in place, take her through it. And it's been like that. And since I think then I've brought in about 18 new personal partners since April, which is really good for me personally, since I've had such a block for such a long time. And not only that, they're coming in, getting onboarded and getting results. So thank heavens for Inner Circle, and now I know it's just a numbers situation, because everyone's got the same tool system. It's up to them whether how much they go through it. So that leads on to my first question. So the people who I have coming through the new system are, I would say, really independent, self-sufficient. They get their own kind of to-do list underway, their own schedule. They're sufficient at doing, lives, because obviously the social media launch, they've got to do it from their end. They've done the exclusive Zooms. They know how to invite. And I'm like, this is genius. But with the old partners, the partners who, maybe they've been through a couple of positions, maybe even a few more, but have been with me a long time. I do feel like they're less self-sufficient by quite a mile. And it's very obvious to see the differences, even getting them to do maybe a live in a business exposure group. It's like, but what about, like, who wears? And I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
And I do find them a lot more, I don't like the word needy, but you know what I mean, less self-sufficient.
Sure. So first and foremost, like, a lot of people get involved. A lot of people who maybe get success quick get, I wouldn't say lucky, but right place, right time, which some people could call as lucky, but then you kind of put yourself in the right situation. You're open-minded enough, like yourself, you kind of get involved. So there's 4 stages of momentum. There's personal momentum, group momentum, team momentum, and company momentum. And there's a 5th one, industry momentum, right? So like a lot of people, like COVID was industry momentum. It didn't matter what company you joined.
100%.
If you just, you know what I'm talking about here. So you just got involved in network marketing, and it just naturally went up because more people were open, more people were looking, more people saw it as a legit option. In 2014, we had the social media wave, and also your company went through a big wave as well. So that was not really industry momentum. That was company momentum, and it made the teams grow and the groups within the team grow, and then the personal grow. But when that's all gone, and it happens to everyone, 90% of people will quit because they just think, oh, it's not what it used to be. It's not like it used to be. This used to be super easy. There used to be 300 people turn up to our Birmingham event on a Thursday night, and now there's 4 people. Like, it's very different. So you then have to work the other way. You have to create the personal momentum, which creates the group. By the way, group momentum is the groups within your team. So if you have like 3 teams within, like 3 groups within your team. So personal momentum that you creates the group momentum, which creates the team momentum. And if there are a bunch of teams in momentum within the company then gets into momentum. So by you creating personal momentum by getting these 18 recruits in the last 6 months, that's you probably feel it, like you're in some sort of momentum, you're recruiting people, and now you know how to recruit people kind of like, consistently, you know how to launch them, you know how to do that. So you need to celebrate what you want to duplicate. So if people are getting customers, celebrate it publicly. If people are getting team members, celebrate publicly. If people are doing the social media launch or exclusive Zooms, celebrate it publicly. And the people who are around who are like, oh, that's so cool about Mary doing her exclusive Zoom, then say to that person, hey, let's do one for you. If they say yes, amazing, celebrate it. They'll most likely like that feeling and want to impress you more to be able to celebrate more. If they're like, well, yeah, no, in my mind, their intentions with the business is the community, the friendship, and the events, not the actual building of a business. The reason why I tell you this is I know of someone, unfortunately, she's not with us anymore, but I know of someone who came to everything that my dad put on from 1987 for 30 years. She came to every event, every leadership event, every meetup. She would ask questions. She would take notes. She'd raise her hand. She'd be there from the beginning until the end, all the time. She never once recruited anyone or got one customer. But she was super excited all the time. You told her to do something, she wouldn't do it. And towards, on the year 29, year 30, I just went over to her and said, I've just got a question. I'm really curious. And this was when I was like year 1 of me doing the coaching, and I went to one of my dad's events. I was like, do you have the intention of actually building a business? And she went, you know what? No one's ever asked me that. And the answer is no. I don't. I go home after the event. I'm super excited, and I love to see my company X family, but I never want to recruit anyone. So this is why it's so important to give people assignments to see if they're ready to step up and do it or not. If they do, celebrate it. If they're not, then you got to focus where the energy is. Otherwise, you get into a situation where it's draining your energy. Being a man, there's a great saying, building is energy, maintaining is fatigue. And you'll know it by when you're building these new people. When you get a new partner, you're like, yes. And when they do their exclusive Zoom or their social media launch, you're like, yes, they're doing it. They're independent. Well, I've got one. And then when it's on the other side, oh, it's not like it used to be in 2014. Remember when we went to that event in 2015 and 16? It was so different back then. And then you can't help but like, yeah. And your energy is completely different. So it sounds tough because they're being loyal, but they've been loyal to attend the events and being around the community and not loyal to doing the activities. And it is a business at the end of the day. Yeah. So it's setting the assignments and allowing their actions to dictate the next move with that.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
So what would you say the signs are that someone is developing as a leader? Obviously, me personally, I don't think that I've ever created leaders, and that's been a big thing for me. Right. And I need to do the guide 6 if I get to it. I think I'm on 5 of learning doing. But and this would be a really good one for me. But what are the signs you think to see that someone is developing a leader? Because I have got some coming through now, and I think, but is there any special sort of things, indicators you would notice?
Yeah, absolutely. So the first thing to know is again, it's a quote, is that earners are found, leaders are earned. So like when people come to me and they ask, not that you've asked this, but when people come to me and ask, Frazer, how do I find leaders? I don't think you really find leaders, because leaders that aren't leaders outside of network marketing leaders are their own breed. So like we can find people who can make money. So I would say I've got a list actually, and I'll see if I can actually find the list of the 10 traits. Let's see if I've got the 10 traits of the, I've got it here. And I can send this to you as well, Rhi.
Awesome,
so that you've got these 10 traits. And if I don't, for some reason, by the time we finish, just say, hey, can you send those 10 traits to me? Yeah. So number 1 is coaching. So if they are, okay, so first and foremost, they identify themselves if they actually are being coachable. And like, so that's, if they're prepared to be coached, then they've got the ability to then coach others. Right. So coaching. So if they're giving assignments to their team, then they're showing themselves as a potential leader. If they're coming to you and say, hey, Rhi, can you give my team assignments? Then they're trying to get you to do it, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing is character. By the way, they all begin with the letter C. That's just how I work, right? The 10 commandments or the 10 things beginning with C, right? The second thing is character. So, like, have they been through a storm? Like, have they been through a team storm, a company storm, an industry storm, a personal storm? One of the big ones in network marketing, and some of you guys listening in, watching this might be able to relate, is when someone finds out they're pregnant. Because being pregnant is now the number one priority in your life, right? Like being healthy and trying to sleep well and move and whatever. So the network marketing thing then become a second thing. Do they stop turning up? Do they make excuses not to come to the events? And I get it. Like Svetlana had a really rough first trimester, but like, are they gonna, when they've had the kid, is it right? Like, let's go. Or is it like, well, I actually want to be more. So character's number 2. Number 3 is communication. So one of our rules when I was building was you got to contact your upline every day. So, and this is not like a phone call every day. This is just, hey, Rhi, just letting you know, I made 3 calls today. No one joined. Hey, Rhi, just letting you know, I've not done much today, but I'm going to be on the Zoom later. Hey, Rhi, just letting you know, I got 4 customers. Whoa. Hey, Rhi, just letting you know, I finally qualified as, rank 1. Woo.
Yeah.
Right. So then if they're giving assignments to their team, they've gone through a storm, they're communicating with you regularly, then they've already got 3 out of 10. So that's pretty good. Next one is commitment. So are they actually going to do what they said? Are they actually going to do what you said? I think commitment's a pretty obvious thing. Number 5, this is a weird one, and you might not be able to identify it yet, but if you do have someone you can identify this in, it's highly likely that they'll be able to develop into a leader. Contagious energy. So someone who you're like, you've got a slight smile there because you're thinking, right? As someone who, when you're with them and you leave them, you're fired up, or you're energetic, or you smile, or you think she's going to be good. Well, he's going to be really good at this. Because usually I used to have this word called ignitability. That was one of my first ever brands, ignitability, the ability to set someone on fire. We didn't go too far with that brand because it sounded weird, like setting someone on fire. Like actually, like if you translated it, it didn't sound right. So that's number 1. Number 6 is caring. So they don't just care for themselves. They, with the self-care, they sleep, they move, they eat well. They care for the team, and they care for the company. That's another one. Consistency. So, like, are they actually doing the work consistently, or are they here one week, gone the next? Are they prepared to collaborate with you? Hey, Rhi, just letting you know, I'm going to do like a 5-day blitz with my team. Could you come on and like do day 3? Yeah, I would love, like, you'd love for someone to say that. Like, I'm going to be doing a 10-day challenge with my team. Like, hey, can you come and do day 2 and day 7? Yeah, awesome. You're going to do the rest of it. Yeah, happy days. Yeah. Number 9 is create confidence. Like if someone can give you confidence, or someone who can make someone feel confident or give belief into them, that's amazing. And then number 10 is someone who commits to the community. So there's 10 things there. You don't need all 10. But I would say if someone's got 5 or 6 of them, it's game on. It's game on. So now you have them. You can then kind of put that down one column on like a spreadsheet, and you can write some of the people who you've recruited or in your team across the top. And then you can start thinking, yeah, no, yeah. Ooh. And then you can create like an inner circle, or like I don't know, like a round table or whatever, where you look to coach that person one-on-one, or you just invite 3 or 4 of them, and every week you have a call with that person just to pour into them what you can, or invite different people from the upline or corporate to pour into them as well. Get them to make a declaration that they're going to do X by Y. And yeah, that can help. Those are the 10 traits of a leader, in my opinion.
They're awesome. Thank you so much. I will. I love the spreadsheet idea. That's pretty cool as well. Because sometimes you might not think, and it makes you realize. So that would be good.
Yeah, you see it, right? You can see like, all right, this is
this
I can
is
see
good.
it. Yeah. Because it's hard otherwise, isn't it? Oh yeah, she's a leader. Why? I don't know, because she's the first rank.
Yeah, and I don't, I don't feel that reflects it. And I've heard you say it on podcasts and things as well, because a position doesn't equal.
Just because you earn a lot doesn't mean you are a lot in terms of like a leader. I know so many people who make so much money who just go out on the weekend and get blind drunk like every single weekend. And it's like, your team are going to do what you're going to do. So like, you got to be a little bit careful. So yeah, it's there's a lot of traits, but I'll send you those as well.
All right, lovely. Thank you.
I saw you write them down anyway, but I'll send them to you. Anyway.
Yeah. I'm definitely a pen and paper girl, but I'll put them on my phone, I'm sure. Got to be done. So another question I have is my long-term vision for where I want to go business-wise, and what I want to hit milestone-wise is big, and I've got the long-term. I know there's a lot of steps in place first, and that's obviously okay. So in terms of, I heard you talking about getting the kind of team vision, aligned. That's something that's always been kind of out of my comfort zone, I guess, because like in some ways I'm almost like, if they hear that, they'll be like, that's obscene, and that scarcity sort of thing just disappear for some weird reason. It's how the mind works. But and also, sharing something that's as big as that, so I don't know whether to be thinking about, because I know I've heard you say help X amount of people create, an extra £200 to £500 a month. Would that be towards the long-term end of the scale, or the first step kind of in front, I'm guessing? Yeah.
So another good saying is, good leaders have vision, great leaders give vision. And vision can be kind of defined as seeing the future of the team before the team can see it themselves. So, and that's why it comes down to like, this team is going, not like we're on a mission to, it's just like, this team is going to create 100 people who make $1,000 a month, or 100 people who become financially free, or six-figure income earners, or 1,000 people to become thousandaires, right? $1,000 a month or more, or 500 people to make $500 a month. Like, that's just the vision. And you just add a zero to the number when you hit it. Like, it's just, and you can even get so obsessed with it that this is a really weird idea, and I've never shared this before, but I'm going to say it. The first part of the idea has been done before, but the second part hasn't. So you're so obsessed with the vision, and obsession towards the vision, people get confidence in that, like, oh my God, she's just not going to stop. She's relentless. So in your bio, it's on a mission to help 500 people make $500 a month. And then if you feel that now is like a bit too, it's going to look silly, then fair enough. But when you have 7, 10, 20, 40 people making that on the team eventually, then you put in your Instagram bio next to it, 40 out of 500. Someone else breaks it on the team, 41 out of 500. Someone else, 47 out of 500. But what you can also do, and this again is a little bit crazy, guys, but it's branding. You can also get t-shirts done with 40 out, like black t-shirt, white writing, 40 out of 500. Someone else hits it, you get another one done, 41 out of 500. In fact, so you wear like, what's that? What's that number mean? Well, let me tell you, I'm on a mission to get 500 people making $500 a month, and that's how many people we've helped so far. Would you like to be the next? Yeah, that's the first time I've ever taught that. So there you go.
Love that.
Yeah.
So if you see pictures on our socials of random numbers, and I'll let you know if it works.
Right. And hey, if your team's growing super fast, it could get quite expensive. Oh no, I need another t-shirt. No.
I'll have to recruit a t-shirt making person.
Exactly.
Do you think the figure of £500 a month is a better goal than 2? Do you think 2 to 500, like giving it a bracket, is a good, or a fixed one amount?
It gets talked about a lot. Like for me, it was $300 a month. like $300 a month is what I wanted. That was what, 12 years ago or so. So inflation, it probably is about 500 now. But it's whatever you feel is right. It's whatever you feel is like a good number that you truly believe in. And what I would do is I would look at maybe your compensation plan, because obviously, have you been with the same company for 8.5 years? Is that, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Amazing. So you bought into the company, you heavily believe in it. That's amazing. I would think, okay, at the first rank, what are the sort of average numbers that person could potentially make? Like the first like main rank, if there's like one rank for getting 2 people to join your team, then that's not really the first rank. Like the first, like the core rank, like, okay, they earn like £300. Okay, just stick to that. Like, because then you know, okay, to make this, you got to get to this rank. So then they have the vision, and then they have the goal of what they actually have to do, and then they can move forward.
Yeah, that's kind of position and rank I was thinking of. So I think that's good. Awesome. So we'll roll with that. And how would you recommend delivering it? You know, do you, or it just starts to become something you keep saying, or do you talk about
you would
it
announce
on
it the first? Yeah, so you would announce it the first time.
Yeah.
So the first time you would obviously come in and say something along the lines of like, hey guys, I've been thinking about this a lot. Personal visions with vision boards is amazing, but I want you to be a part of the bigger mission, the bigger vision. So here's a vision that I have for this team. The vision for this team is to help 500 people make 500. Like, I'm just giving you the example. 500 people to make 500 a month. When you have your first $500 a month, you'll be inducted into the Hall of Fame, right? Yeah. And now that could be simply a Polaroid photo of you and them at an event, and you put on a wall in your house, right? Or it could be a digital like wall of fame. It could be something that, because people die for recognition, 100%. And you have so much.
I'm one of them,
right?
You know,
me too, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't think I do, but you know, it's not. Oh God, I hate this. Like everyone's I love recognition. It's great. So the vision, yes. How they get there, yes. But what they're going to get when they get there, like, you know, that's going to be really important. And again, it could just be their name on a wall, their name on a website, like just something. Because the company does a great job of recognizing, but you should recognize too. And this goes for everyone out there listening. Like, what can you do to your team and your future team to recognize them more at certain milestones? So yeah, that's what I would do. All right.
Yep.
Amazing. Cool. Well, Ray, this has been such a pleasure. I'm so glad that we were able to hang out and talk, and we'll be doing more of these hot seats for those of you who are out there in the inner circle. If you would like to be in the hot seat, you just have to follow what we teach, right? Attend the clarity calls, fill in the Google form, speak to the mentors, the accountability coaches, because those are the guys who are spying to see who and they're the guys who are recommending, right? Yeah. So Neen messaged me. So Neen's one of our accountability coaches. So everyone gets their own dedicated accountability coach. And Neen messages, you got to get Rhiannon. Rhiannon's got to be in the hot seat. Rhiannon's got to be in the first hot seat. She's awesome. She's doing it. And she's doing different things. She's got loads of great questions, and like, put her in the hot seat. So I was like, all right, we'll do it.
She's a legend.
Shout out to Neen. Yeah, she is a legend. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much. This has been awesome.
Thank you so much. Cheers.
Cheers.